This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. All right, let's look at this film for week 3, Browns preseason. First thing we're going to notice is Cedric Tillman in this game. Really strong outing from him. The key word is separation. He gets distance from his man pretty consistently in this game, no matter what unit is out there covering him. So very encouraging stuff. We know Cedric Tillman is insanely talented, and this is not a surprise, right? This is not what he struggled with last year. So first, the good release, right? See here. Wins inside, beats him with quickness. Corner tries to recover. He gives him a nice little burst and it's off the line. So nice step. Squares his body up. Stays focused. That's a tough catch, right? Because Jameis throws this in a insanely tight window. And in order to catch that as a wide receiver, you have to be focused, right? Because you could think this thing going to be tipped. You got to be very, very focused here. So good focus here by Cedric Tillman to catch that ball that's in an obscenely tight window. We don't give wide receivers credit enough for catching tight window throws. We give quarterbacks all the praise in the world for throwing them. And honestly, I think that's backwards because sometimes these tight window throws are unnecessary when quarterbacks throw them. But it's never unnecessary when the wide receiver catches one of them. It's very, very difficult. All right, here you see this is going to be, I think, a run play. I love what they do here with the design. This is a good run by Jerome Ford. So what they're going to do here is have him in motion. I believe this is kind of like a orbit motion. There might be another technical term for it, but basically you have him flash as if he's going to the backfield and then run out there in the flat. Basically, the ideal is to figure out who his man is, run that man up and away from the run play, and then you can crease off of that. So they get that motion, they identify the coverage with it, right? Boom. So you get it. You see who's moving, right? So you see that corner's moving right there. You get him out the play. Look, 23 is now out the play by the time this ball gets snapped. So the motion is successful. And then Jerome Ford does a great job of seeing and navigating this traffic right here. Good run by Jerome Ford. All right. Seeing, first of all, being patient, right? Letting 81 clear across, not trying to push or rush through this gap. Being patient here. Getting upfield. And just navigating that nice little in cut, well, not in cut, out cut here, right? Because you see Wyatt Teller is about to make a block there, and he cuts around that very smooth into this small little gap here. Gets about 9 yards out of that, almost 10, first down. So, Jerome Ford, I'm telling you, there's more there than meets the eye that a lot of people want to admit. You give him if you block well for him, or if you block decently for him, there's a really good running back in there, I think. Well, not a really good, but a pretty good running back, All right, Jameis here on the drop back. This is another just example of Cedric Tillman separating. Right, he did that pretty well this whole game. Well, not this whole game, but, he only played for like a quarter. When he was out there, he did this pretty well. And again, nothing crazy here. He just separates. He just runs away from 29. Can't keep up with him. Does a good job. And then finishes with contact. Rolls out. Good job there. Same thing here. Browns got a little motion. Jet sweep. And this is something Jamari Thrash actually has to improve. Now, we're just like so knee-jerk reactionary and instinctively used to Elijah Moore running this wrong. I don't think Elijah Moore ran this wrong. I think Elijah Moore ran this well, actually. And I think this play could have popped for potentially a touchdown. But Jamari Thrash just does not do a good job of blocking here. So the job here for Thrash, get out, block that, let him get to the second level, let the end around come around here. Elijah can beat everybody to the corner, and then it's just a deal of him and that safety at the end of this play. That's what the design is supposed to be. And you get what you want here. You get exactly what you want. Everybody's chasing. You get the numbers. So this is what they wanted. You get the numbers here, right? Get half of their defense there. Now you're just dealing with two guys trailing, but you're taking an end around. So they're effectively out the play if you seal up properly. You got your man here. You got the man free. And then the only guy you have to really worry about is that safety. And Elijah can make a miss and potentially score. But look at Jamari Thrash here. It's just not a great attempt to block. So we'll focus in on him now that we pointed out that the play was successful. It's just the execution wasn't great here. So AD this isn't a good job of blocking. Way too passive. Lets him get to the angle there. Not aggressive here. And you don't want to get contact in certain parts of it. You want to be careful not to get a penalty. But this is just way too passive. Way too passive. Late, bad angle, and then you let him tackle him, and it ends up being like, what, a couple of yards that you get there? It should have almost been a touchdown. And this one right here, Jamari Thrash runs a great route. And look, all the route running stuff from Jamari Thrash looks pretty good. It might just be a case where before he can see the field consistently, he just needs to get that blocking stuff down, which might just take a year. But here he's on this corner route. Nice route here. Love that he's physical enough to get his hands in there, swipe it down without getting that penalty. Gets his eyes back at the right time. Jameis just doesn't get him a great ball here. This just gets away from for some reason here. But hey, the process looked pretty good there. This is right here. I think this is DTR now. Love the open space here. And when you see a play like this, right, you're like, oh, what happened? How did you get this much open space? Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this is a dagger concept. So you have a out and then a 9. And then that 9 can turn into a corner. It could turn into a deeper out. It could turn into a 9 here, right? So you got options there at the top of it. Basically, what you want James Prochet to do, his first objective is get this guy out the way, right? So you can clear space here. What the concept is with dagger is a cover 3 beater. This is what they think they're in, right? So when you see a cover 3 beater, one high, here, you know, in the NFL, you don't really run that much cover 1, especially man 1. So you know it's not 1. You probably think it's 3, right? So you're going to have him, and then him. And the reason that dagger can beat it is because it puts multiple players in conflict. So it can clear this guy out. He's supposed to pass off the guy who has the out, but the out guy's not going to want to give up that route. So you're probably going to have to stick on him, or that safety's going to have to get on here, or this linebacker's going to get. Then that's a mismatch. Basically, you want to clear up space and attack this hole in cover 3. So this is good execution. It's not a very complicated process, but football is never really the process. And then you see the execution here, right? So you see exactly what it does, who it puts in conflict. So James Prochet runs that 9. This this corner, watch him, right? He's the one they put in conflict here because of this concept here. So boom, right? James Prochet clears out 29. And then since he runs this clear out, now that corner that was supposed to be on this dagger can't get over, leaving heaps of space. This is good design. This is good function of the offense and good execution by DTR to make the play and see it. That's good play design. That's some of the stuff that you're seeing with Ken Dorsey bringing in here. All right. This is Jamari Thrash with the ball in his hand. I like his instincts here as a runner. He's not like a spectacular athlete, but I do think he has quick enough feet and he's willing enough to finish strong that there's some potential there with him and yak opportunities. This is just a beautiful play here. So one thing that I want to note, because the route itself, I mean, he gets wide open here. I think this is more because of coverage confusion, right? I think Kobe Bryant leaves his spot, vacates, and just blows the coverage, which happens even in the regular season. And then you get the play there. I want to point out, man, DTR plays his best when he's not in a rush to get rid of the football. He is actually the first quarterback that I've looked at where I'm like, man, he has the opposite. Most quarterbacks don't know when to get rid of the football and they hold it too long. DTR is the exact opposite problem. He can't wait to get rid of this football sometimes. And I'll show you some evidence of that later on in this video. But this is DTR at his best, right? Where he's able to just get comfortable, set his feet, and then look at this throw. This is an impressive throw, right? He throws this out his foot on his own 44, so he is plus 6 yards at the 50. So this goes about 56 yards in the air, probably another 10 going left and right, right? So this is an impressive throw here for DTR. And he gets hit while he does it. Look at that. This is just so improved from what he had last year, right? Like last year, this ball this deep on this side of the field to the opposite side, he wasn't making that throw. But this preseason, good job here, man. And it's a pretty ball too. Look at that. It just drops right there in the bucket. Easy ball. If DTR like can hone that and have his fastball, but also be able to put touch on the ball like he did in this game consistently, there's something there. I don't know if that something is like a starter, but there's a good quarterback in there in the realm of NFL quarterbacks, right? Like, so, you know, a backup or a guy who could come in there and be really solid for 5 games, like a Jameis Winston, or even somebody who could be a fringe starter. I think, you know, that's the range of possibilities there for DTR. Play action here. Again, beautiful layered football. Like, you weren't seeing him layer footballs last year. This year, you're seeing him layer some of them in the preseason. This is stuff that he didn't even do last year in the preseason. Like, some of his missed throws, I think, excite me more than the completions. This one right here, again, messy pocket. He waits for it, throws this thing. Now, you can make the argument that he should have had his eyes towards the middle of the field and threw that hook there, but I think that's kind of revisionist history because it's only open because he starts his throwing motion. But if he doesn't start his throwing motion, that linebacker is going to follow that tight end. But look at this ball here to the sideline. I mean, like, that's a real chance for Mike Woods or Amari Cooper to make a play there. It's, again, he did not do anything close to this last year in the preseason or in the regular season. Same thing here. He throws this one, and this is just a pretty ball. Look at this. I mean, every chance to get caught there. It's Jalen Darden, so it's not. But if that's, you would hope Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, you know, that might be a touchdown there. That's the stuff that really got me excited. Those kind of like deep ball, touch deep balls. Like, he didn't have many deep balls like this in his repertoire, in his highlight tape in college. To put 3 in this game, it's pretty impressive. And then here, DTR, again, just another nice, easy, deep strike, and it just looks easy. He got hit on this one. No, he didn't get hit on this one. But it just looks easy for him. Like, it just looks so much easier to get that ball downfield. So much less work. All right, let's talk about what he needs to work on, though, because it's not perfect for DTR. I want to get that impression. All right, so I mentioned this earlier, but this is something that DTR can really fix on. Sometimes he's in a rush. Sometimes DTR is moving way too damn fast. Sometimes he wants to get rid of the ball way too fast. This is an example of it, right? He just rushed himself. He saw that there was pressure coming. He felt it and he rushed. And he didn't get a good throw. And you see how he just kind of shoulders that instead of following through with his base well and stepping up and throwing that football. He just kind of arms it, and it's a shitty ball because he felt the pressure. He rushed his mechanics. He threw a bad football. And that is the one thing, and I think that's going to be a constant with DTR. He's always going to be one of those quarterbacks you could take out of rhythm because he needs to be in rhythm, especially early in his career. Like, he does need to be in rhythm. Another one, right? He gets taken out of rhythm here, throws this ball way too early. And, I mean, like, the decision is bad. The ball is not great. And he's got to just let this play develop more. Like, he got rid of this way too fast. We have no chance to see if Jamari Thrash is going to get that out there because you threw this ball almost instantaneously. And and the problem with throwing this ball this quickly is you're throwing the ball while this linebacker, who's supposed to be worried about Jamari Thrash, still has his eyes in the backfield. So he's just going to try to crash in on this once he sees that you're ready to throw the football where you're locked into because you're throwing it this early. That's going to turn into interceptions during the regular season. You can't be this eager to get rid of the ball. I know we always hear about the perils of not getting rid of the ball quick enough because it's the more common problem. This is a rare problem, but this is a problem. You can't try to get rid of this ball this quickly. The defense is just in too much of a position to react to it. Right? This one, he rushes himself. Like, the read is fine, but he rushes himself. And he, again, kind of shoulders that, has his half follow through, doesn't get his leg through till late, and he throws a shitty ball. Right here, he gets rid of this early, kind of rushes it, and it was a huge mistake here. There was an opportunity for him to make a big play. Because if you watch here, Kobe Bryant completely abandons his spot here. He just crashes to the flat. And this is kind of what JOK did to Brevin Jordan in the Browns playoff game versus the Houston Texans. And I think it would have been a similar result if he just had a little bit more poise here. Because he is DTR. Use that athleticism. Use that speed that you have to extend this play, because you can use that speed to extend this play. Draw it out, get a little bit parallel, whatever you got to do to just give yourself a couple of seconds, because he's gone up here, which means this going to be wide open with nobody to do anything about it. You got two guys there. And instead of drawing that play out and taking advantage of your athletic gifts, you get fast here, throw this way too early in the flat where Kobe Bryant is already crashing to, and it ends up not being successful. There's an opportunity for a play there. Got to trust yourself. Like, you're a good athlete. You get rid of the ball there, man. You got the angle. You can curve that around, right? You run like 4.5. They don't run 4.5. Just curve that around. Get to whatever marker you need to get to, and then release that thing. You're gonna get wide open space there. Just need that poise, right? If he gets that poise, if he realizes he's got more time than he has, then he could start to be, a true backup at the very least. Again, right here, you could just tell when he's getting rid of this ball way too quick. And again, this is another peril of getting rid of the ball too quickly. You get the ball here, 1, 2. He doesn't even get to his third step clean, right? So it's a 3-step drop. Doesn't even get to the third step clean. Watch it again. This is the 0 step. So 0, 1, 2, yuck, 3, right? You see how it's like a bunny hop to 3? 0, 1, 2, and it's like this nasty hop to 3. And then he gets rid of it, and he's jumping up in the air to get rid of this ball, and he throws it to Mike Woods, and Mike Woods catches it, but he gets completely destroyed here. This didn't have to be this way. Now, he felt the pressure. He saw the pressure. He rushed his mechanics. He got a little fast. I mean, this is something we've known about DTR since he's come out of UCLA. But again, here's why getting rid of the ball so quickly is a bad idea. Because look at this corner. This corner, if you just wait a half a second longer, is going to be out the play. He's going to be out the play because he's getting ran out. I mean, this is what they're running. He's going to get ran out this play. His eyes aren't going to be in the backfield. But when you release this ball this quickly, well, he knows I'm sitting. There's no way you're throwing over me. I'm sitting. And I'm coming over top on this, and I'm going to smack this dude's life out because you got rid of it way too quick. And look when he starts his throwing motion. He's starting his throwing motion right now. There is no danger. I understand that that man is on his way, but you still got a half a second where you can wait. And this is why you got to use that half a second to clear it out. Because if you just let that half a second happen, I get that you see it because he saw it. He got excited, right? He saw that blitz. They sent the blitz. He saw it. He wanted to throw right to the blitz. But just give yourself a half a beat. Give yourself that a quarter of a second to just be like, okay, I see it. There's no need to rush. Right. And this is just a young quarterback being young. I'm not trying to beat up on him. I just raved about him for the last 20 minutes. But this is just young quarterback being young. Right. He sees it, but he's still in a rush. The benefit of seeing it is that you don't have to be in a rush. Right. You see it. You don't have to be in a rush. And this is what like Joe Flacco did really well. And Deshaun Watson does really well. The veteran quarterbacks that played for the Browns last year. They see it. They know I got one more hitch in me before anybody can get down there. I might be able to just take another half step, right? Half a yard of time before somebody gets to me. And I'm going to let that clear so that I can make that corner make a decision here, right? You got to make them make a decision, whether you're going to carry this route or you're going to come upfield. And you got to try to take advantage of that decision here because he can't guard two people at once. But if you get rid of this ball this quickly, you allow him to guard two people at once. Boom. Smacks your guy. Good on Mike Woods not dropping that. You can't get rid of that ball that quickly. This one here rushes it. Getting rid of it too quickly. All right. 0, 1. That's not a drop. That's not a drop that's in the book. Gotta give yourself just get to your steps. You got the time. You got to trust it. All right, let's look at this punt return because I got a lot of questions about this one. Why did this happen? Should Bubba Ventrone be worried about what happened here on this punt return? I don't think so. This was Miles Harden's fault. Why was it Miles Harden's fault? He got beat up. Watch this. Oh, buddy. Yeah, look where the return goes. Look where the return goes. Yeah, Miles. That's all you, buddy. If you didn't see it again, I'll zoom in because I don't like laughing at somebody's pain or anything. But boy, this is bad. All right, so Miles, he's young. He's probably not gunned in his career. He played at I think he played at South Dakota or South Dakota State. He was a starter there, right? You're not going to be gunning a lot when you're the best player in one of your conferences. And, he got welcomed to how difficult gunning is in the NFL because he gets ran outside, into the 50, which is just bad, right? You don't want to get that. You don't want to have that happen to you. The goal of this, right, of what he's trying to do is up and then get past them or push and then get parallel to them numbers. What actually ends up happening, you see, he trying to get back to them numbers, right? What actually ends up happening is he gets pushed clear into the other side of the field, gets his helmet knocked off. You see, he got to go get his helmet. Damn. He got to go get that helmet, pick it up. Next thing he know, he put his helmet back on. Oh, they where I'm supposed to be. Oh, no. I know he felt horrible when he saw that because he's like, damn, they going to put that shit on the big screen. You know, the Browns just built that big old virtual reality setup where they got the life-size projector in there so you can watch your mistakes in 500K. Oh, I know they got to this one. I know they got to this one. I know he was mad. Oh, my God. Oh, Miles. Oh, Miles. You got to do some drills for this one, buddy. Yes, this is why this happened. Yeah, when your gunner gets smacked down like this, your coverage is cooked. And then you miss the tackle at the top, right? Because this wouldn't have been that big of a deal if you just make the tackle, but fifth string safety misses the tackle. And then sixth string safety misses the tackle. And then 12 string defensive lineman falls trying to get an angle. And boy, now it mattered that Miles Harding got beat up. Oh, man. Now I was fighting like hell to try to do something about it. But yeah, that's what happened. Basically, it was a personnel issue. Now, don't make the assumption that just because it's the preseason that these are backups, these are the guys who will be in the punt coverage during the season. That's not the case. The Browns will have like Justin Hardy in this situation, and Justin Hardy is in specifically because he's not going to get beat up as a gunner. He don't need to practice this in the preseason because he's been doing it his whole career. But yeah, that's why Justin Hardy is here. If you ever wondered if a gunner is important, yes, they are. Ooh, goodness gracious. Hey, I'm glad. Hey, look, all jokes aside, he did grab his helmet, put it on, and then run his ass back and try to make the play. So you gotta give credit to the heart, but you know, you just gotta put yourself in a better position to be successful.